Hey, yo, what up, everybody, and welcome to Wally's Welding World. I'm the Weld Professor, and today I'm going to get into some fitting and some fabricating for you. I'm just going to get into some real basic stuff, nothing real critical, but a lot of people are asking me about these ISOs that I build and the fittings that I do, so I'm going to get into it, and I'm going to show you what it's about. I'm going to bring you into my world, kind of show you. So you'll see all these, these ISOs, and it'll come over like this, and it'll go down like that, and it'll go like this, and it'll come back like this, and it'll shoot back like that, and then it'll come down like this, right? And we got all these like complicated fittings that we're building, all these different ISOs, all these different ways that all these different things go. And when I do it like that, it's just kind of like a continuation through the line. And so a lot of people need to understand how these isometrical pictures work, and they need to know the takeoffs. And so that's kind of what I want to go on with you guys, is the takeoffs for some of this stuff. Now I'm going to start with just some of the plainest stuff, and I've gone it over again and again and again, and that's the 90s. You see something like this, right? And that's your 90s. You'll see kind of like little spots like that. And you know that those little spots right there mean they're a weld. And so when you look at the ISO and you see the little dots like that, it comes over like this, and then it comes down like that, and it comes back like this. Goes down like that, right? You see these little dots in here. These little dots indicate usually there's a fitting that goes there, and that fitting that goes there is most likely a 90, a 45. Sometimes on a 45 or something like this, you'll see a degree. And so I wanted to go over this, guys, with you to kind of give you an idea how to learn how to take these takeoffs, okay? This is some of the easiest takeoffs to learn how to do, is right here like this. Now, I hope it's a good angle enough for you guys right there. Looks like it is. And I just want you guys to get an idea of what it is. All right, so the first thing I'm going to start with is really, really simple, and it's the takeoff of two 90s. Right? And sometimes you'll just see it like that, which means there's just one weld between the two 90s. And other times you won't see that. You'll see two little spots like this to indicate there's a pup. P-U-P, a pup. There's a pup that goes into this, in between these two lines. Now say this gave you a measurement from here to here. Whoops. Say this gave you a measurement from here to here, and it told you your measurement was 2 feet from here to here. All right? Now, you're going to need to learn how to do the takeoffs, right? So you're going to need to learn. See, when we do pipe, we always go off center. Always, always, always go off center. And when I mean center of line. So if you were to see a pipe, you would go off the center of pipe. Center of pipe to center of pipe. We're always going from center to center. I don't know if you guys can see that well. Can you see that? Okay. So anyways, we're always going off center of pipe to center of pipe. The center of this pipe goes this way and goes this way to center of pipe. Does that make sense? So when we're taking off our 90s, we need to just take off half the 90, because it's only half of where we're going. It's going from this edge of the 90 to the center of that 90, right? Because realistically, these are pipes that we're dealing with. You can draw it however you want, but most of the time we draw it as like a straight line out there, and that's how you'll see it on the drawings, is just a straight line. So say we got 2 feet right here, and we need to figure out what this pup is. And all different pipes vary from different sizes, and I've gone over with you guys before between short radius and long radius. You got your long radius 90s, and you got your short radius 90s. And remember, a long radius 90 is diameter of the pipe plus half the diameter of the pipe. That's the takeoff for a long radius 90. And for the short radius 90, remember I've gone over it before, is just the diameter of the pipe. So if it's a 2-inch pipe and it's a short radius 90, it's 2 inches. Now if it's a long radius 2-inch 90, it's what? It's the size of the pipe plus half the diameter, which would be 3 inches. All right, you following me here? Can you see that? All right. I'm trying to explain this to you the best I can, break it down kindergarten style for you guys, so that way you can understand it. Because trust me, it took me a while to understand this too. So say this is 2 feet here, and we got to get from here to here, but we got to figure out what our pup is, and say it's giving us, and pay attention, because it could be a long radius 90 and it could be a short radius 90. So you always got to pay attention and look at the description in the book, because sometimes it'll have something kick off from that, and it'll have a little item number, item 1. You'll have to go over to the list that it has, all the different lists of all the different fittings 1 through 100, and figure out where 1 is and see what it is. And it'll either tell you it's a short radius or long radius. So say they're just short radiuses, or let's just say they're long radiuses, right? And I'm going to break it down. A lot of people don't understand feet. 2 feet is 24 inches. All right, I'll put that right here because a lot of people don't understand that. 24 inches. I break it down into inches because it's easier for me sometimes. So say it's 2-inch pipe and we got 24 inches and we got to take off 2 long radius, just 2. We're going to take off 3 inches, all right, per 90. So it's a 6-inch total from the 24 inches, right? Whoops. So now we know we have an 18-inch pup. From this weld to this weld, we got to cut a piece of pipe that's going to be 18 inches. Because 6 inches minus 24 is what? Is 18. And so that's just a little simple math. Say if these fittings were, I don't know, say they were 8-inch, right? And they were both long radius 90s. Well, how big of a pup do we got now? We don't have a pup, right? Because a takeoff for a long radius 8-inch is 12 inches. So it's a foot from here to here on a 2-foot takeoff. You got to pay attention to stuff like this. And therefore, you wouldn't have a pup. You would just go fitting to fitting. And sometimes it's not okay to go fitting to fitting. Sometimes places want you to put a pup in there. But I'm just trying to use this as a ballpark idea to kind of give you guys an idea how to take it off, how to understand the long radius, the short radius, because it's going to change. If you had the same piece right here, and you had to find out what the, you know, whatever the length's going to be, whatever that length's going to be, 5 feet, you know. Now you're going to need to know whatever size diameter the pipe is, how much you're going to take off from 5 feet. And again, you'll have to, a lot of times people need to break it down in inches or millimeters or even fractions to know what the measurement's going to be. So that's just kind of what I want to do today. I just kind of want to give you guys an idea of what these takeoffs are. Keep in mind, if you have a big line and you're building something that has multiple 90s on it, you're going to have to take off all those 90s. So say your piece goes like, or however, right? It's just an idea. Remember that this is your center to, say that 90 goes down, this is your center to center. And if the drawing doesn't have the little periods for the weld marks, put in your weld marks so you know there's going to be a 90 there and that you need to take that off. And so how many 90s would you take off from there? You take off 190, 290, 3 90s. Look, forgot little one there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be 6 90s you would have to take off. And whatever size the diameter of the pipe is, you need to know if that's a long radius or a short radius. And then, yeah, whatever the diameter of the pipe is. So then you got to take off all those fittings to know what basically this number is going to be from here to here. And then individually, you're going to have to figure out what your distance is here, 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 and here, like this, to determine each individual pup. So all those are going to have different measurements sometimes when you're building a line. You know, they're not all going to be the same. So this might be 2 foot. This might be 6 foot. This might be 40. Whoop, I'm putting inches. That might be 2 feet. That might be 6 feet. That might be 43 feet. And you know what's funny is sometimes the ISOs won't be correct. They won't look right. It might give you a 6-inch pup and the fitting looks way like this, and then it'll tell you like this, and they'll tell you that's 23 feet. So you got to pay attention to the numbers that it'll be telling you in between each one, because it could be different. And then you're going to have to figure out, you know, all these different numbers here. Now, I hope that makes sense. I'm doing my best to explain it. This is, you know, pretty much just a graph to show you guys how you would take off the fittings like that. I'm sure you've seen other people explain the ways on how to take off fittings. Like you could have a 90, say a flange, and you would know you got to figure out whatever that takeoff is. Maybe that it comes over here and has another flange like that. So now you need to learn how to take off this flange, this 90, and this flange, and ultimately to get this number. Now there might be a pup right here, and you're going to need to know whatever your takeoff is from here to get your number here. And same with this. You're going to need to know what it is from here to get your pup here. And that's just me trying to explain to you guys how this really breaks down and works. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this fitting of stuff like this, but this is a good way to get your head in it and start learning. Get the blue book. I always tell people to get the blue book. I have it on my website, the Pipe Fitters Blue Book. It's definitely a good book to invest in. You want one of those books. I'm going to start going over this book more and more and more and showing you more in depth about this book and how to use this book. It's not like I can cut templates out of this book to make barbecue grills and sell it to you guys, because realistically you could just go buy this and learn how to lay it out yourself and make your own barbecue grills. But this book right here can lay out so many different things, and it can show you so many different formulas, and it can show you all the takeoffs for so many different fittings here. This book is really good, and I really suggest you get this book, invest in this book, and learn how and follow along with this, because on the next ones I'm going to start doing, we're going to start throwing out fittings, and I'm going to start going live with you guys, and I'm going to start asking you what the takeoff of the fitting is, and I'm going to see how many people are paying attention. So say, I have a flange here, and we're going to go from that flange, say we're going to 45 up, and then we're going to catch something, and then maybe we're going to 90 up, maybe we're going to 90 back down and over, maybe another 45 to a flange to catch something. And I'm going to have to show you guys all the different angles here to pull these different measurements, because everything has a different measurement. See all that? Those all become a measurement. Kind of mess with that. You're going to need to know what it is from this flange here on this 45 takeoff to this pup to this 90 here, that comes down to this 90, that goes over to this 90, that comes back to the 45, that has a pup in between it that goes to the flange. And there might be a pup in between the flange. So they could even break down to so many different numbers that you're going to have. You're going to need to know that pup length. You're going to need to know that pup length. You're going to need to know this pup length. This pup length. This pup length. If there was a pup here, you're going to need to know this pup length. And it just goes on and on and on how to do this, And this could be lines anywhere from like 36-inch, 42-inch pipe, all the way down to 2-inch pipe. It could be anything. The blue book goes over everything in all of these. So I just want to give you an idea of where we're going with this. This is kind of my new series right now. I'm going to start doing the pipe fitter series for you guys and start showing you what I want you guys to learn. A lot of these people asking me, just simple stuff. What is a 90 takeoff? What is an offset? And that's what we're going to go over. We're going to go over our rise. We're going to go over our run. And I'm going to teach you guys your diagonal, okay? I'm going to teach you guys all that stuff, because this is the stuff you need to know. You need to learn your formulas, and you need to learn your takeoffs, because when you get out here in the field, it's going to be important. They're going to want to know if you know how to get the offset for a rise and a run, and figure out the diagonal to get that swing joint to line up there, whether it's got 45s or 90s on it, because it's all the same, and it's all numbers, and as long as you can figure it out, it'll all line up. And I tell my helper every day, I said, you know what? I make it as best as I can to be as true as I can as far as square and level, because if you're always making it square and you're always making it level, it's always going to come out perfect. It's always going to come out, and if not perfect, it's always going to come out to really close perfect. It's going to come out to just almost being perfect. There's a lot of times we'll go take a fit, and I'll fit it up, and it gets to the edge of the gap, and you look at the gap, and the gap looks perfect, and then we put the square on it, and the square says it's perfect. So try to take the best fit you can, make things as square as you can, make things as level as you can. Don't forget the 2-hole. We're going to teach you guys about the 2-hole. A lot of people don't know about the 2-hole, and it's important, guys. I hope you're loving this, and I hope you're having a good time. It's me giving back, and spread the word. Tell your friends, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, because when I drop these videos, you're going to need to know. All right, guys? It's nothing but love. I got appreciation for all you guys. I'm glad that you're tuning in. I hope you're learning something. It's just I had a lot going on today setting up, but I didn't want to forget about you guys. Wednesday didn't work out in my favor this week, so hopefully this Wednesday I can have another wisdom drop for you guys. But if not, at least you guys got this knowledge in your head, and I'm going to start kicking it out more and more of this knowledge of this book here. I suggest you guys get this book. If you haven't checked out this book, you can find it on my website, TheWeldProfessor.com. You guys can also pick up the merch that I'll be selling there. I got you know, like shirts and hoodies and stuff like that, especially wintertime's coming up. Definitely cop you guys a hoodie. We got hats coming. We got beanies coming. Again and again, thank you for the support for purchasing the rollout wheels and the strong backs and, you know, anything that I have on my website that I have to make and build and give to you guys. I appreciate you. I love you guys. I got nothing but respect for you guys. It's real. I'm Wally's Welding World. They call me the Weld Professor. I weld pop, I weld pop, I weld it all day, I weld it all night. It's what I do, man. I love it. And I want to get back to you guys. I want to teach you guys how to read the book, understand the book. Yes, there's a lot of people out there that already want to explain it, already want to teach it. They're doing a great job. I hope they keep it up. But this is me. This is my thing. If you got comments, leave it in the comments. If you didn't like the angle of the camera, say it in the camera. If you couldn't hear me talking, tell me in the comments. Sorry. If you didn't understand it, tell me what you didn't understand. Let's get you to understand this. This is a family. We're a family here. So spread the word to the rest of the family. Let them know about me. Everybody join on in, man. We're going to be back on Wednesday for the live stream. So it's real. Hope you guys stay cool. I'm out. Peace.